morning guys. So as we have learned in the previous class about the forces, right? So now we have the topics about contact force. So in the previous class we already know about the contact force. So what is contact force? When there is a direct physical contact between any two bodies, so this type of force can be applied. So in the subdivision of the contact force is muscular force. So what is muscular force? The name itself is saying that muscle force. So when you apply the muscle force on any body, so that type of force is called as muscle force. So you can see in the figure of the textbook that muscle force, so by the farmer is applying the force of his muscles on the bullock cart. So in farming, so the muscle force is applied on the cows to move the bullock cart. So when the cows are moving, the bullock carts will move. So as the bullock carts will move, he can do his work. So the muscular force which we apply on any object, like I am rubbing the board. So my muscle is applying force. So that type of forces are called as muscular force. So what are the examples for the muscular force? Many examples. So like closing the door, opening the door. So while closing the door, you will apply the muscle force on the door. So when you apply the force on it, so your muscle will work to apply the force on the door. When you open, simultaneously the muscle force will be applied on it. When you move or when you walk, so while walking, what happens? Your thigh muscles will apply the force on the ground to move, to push your body to the forward direction, or when you move back, to push your body to the backward direction. So these type of forces are called as muscle force. Kicking, lifting the bag, putting any bench, lifting any bench. So all these forces are called as muscular force as we apply the muscle force on it. As we apply the muscle force on the object, so that type of forces are called as muscular force. So these are the examples of muscular force. Changes in muscles. So while doing work, we will apply the muscle force, right? So while doing the work, so we will see the changes in our muscles. Like if you lift a dumbbell, you can see that this muscle will get contracted and this muscle will get relaxed. So this muscle force will have the changes in a pair. Pair of muscle will get, pair means two. So if this muscle is getting relaxed, then this muscle will be in work. This will get contact, get closer. Okay. So when you lift the dumbbell, so this muscle will get tightened. That means it will get contracted and this muscle will get relaxed. So these type of forces, in this muscular force, we can see the changes in the muscles. Not only lifting the dumbbell, while lifting the bag. So when you lift the bag on your shoulders while going to the school, you can see the muscle. So this will get contracted. That means this will get closer and this will get relaxed. So the pair of muscle will get in work. So these type of changes you can see in the muscular force. Next we have force of friction. What is about the force of friction? Friction means that to hold an object, you require a friction. Just like while walking. So as there is a friction between the surface of the ground and between your foot or your slippers or shoes. So the type of friction created to move, actually the friction means the resistance, the stoppage. So if there is no friction, what happens? Think that on the floor there is a oil. If you step on the oil, what happens? You will slip. You will slip and you will fall down. So the resistivity to the force, the resistivity towards the slipping motion. So that type of force is called as friction force. So it is also a type of force, but it will be opposite in direction. If you are moving forward, the friction force will be applied in a backward direction. So you can see the frictional force in the matter of motion of a ball on different surfaces. So let's take the three types of surfaces. So the surface should be rough, like carpet, rough surface, and then smooth surface. So on these three forces, if you roll a ball, what happens if you roll a ball? So on the rough surface, it will roll after some time, very quickly it will stop as the surface is very rough. On the carpet, it will try to roll more than the time taken in the rough surface. So more time it will be rolling. In the smooth surface, it will roll continuously for longer time. After that, it will stop. So why it is stopping here? Why? Because the friction created in the rough surface is more. In the carpet, the friction created is very somewhat less. In the smooth surface, the friction created is more or less. So the rolling of the ball is high in this case. Okay. So this is about the motion of a ball on different surfaces. Motion of object on an inclined plane. So let's take an object on a inclined plane. So let's think that it is a certain height from the ground. So it is on an inclined plane. So we will take three objects. One object is rubber. First one is rubber or eraser. Second one is coin. Third one is ice cube. So place the eraser here. Next, place the coin here. Next, place the ice piece here. So here you can see that on this inclined plane these three objects are placed. This one is eraser, this one is coin, and this is ice cube. So on an inclined plane, eraser won't move. Why? Because the friction created, the friction in the eraser is more when compared to the, even though if it is a inclined plane, all the objects should flow down. So due to the inclined nature, but the eraser, as it has the more friction, so it won't move. So in the second case, coin. So coin will move to a little distance. Later it won't move. Why? Because it also has the friction, but the friction in the coin is less than the eraser. So it will move to a certain distance, later it won't move. In third case, this is the ice cube. So in the ice cube, what we can see, the ice cube will leave the watery nature here. It will leave the liquid, water. So while it is leaving the water, what happens? It slips down. So that means as it is slipping down, its friction reduces completely. As it is completely reducing its friction, it will move to the corner of this inclined plane, to the end of this inclined plane. So it will move continuously. So in this case, so the friction depends upon the surface of the object, surface of the object and the surface of the plane. Surface of the object and surface of the plane, both are required. So the friction should be required in the plane, surface plane and the surface of the object. So it depends upon the object as well as on the plane. Next, imagine the world without friction. So let us think that if there is no friction in the world, what happens? Can we walk? No. Can we hold the pen? Can we read? Can we jump? No, we can't do any work. So as there is the friction, I can hold the chalk piece. As there is the friction, due to the presence of friction, I can write something else here. So I have written my name. Why? Because there is a friction between the chalk piece and the board. As there is a friction, this chalk piece is leaving its particles on the board. So as it is leaving the particles on the board, so due to the friction, it is sticking to the board. If there is no friction, it will slip down and it will move in the air. If there is no friction, you won't be on the air. You will be flying in the air somewhere else. So due to the presence of friction, we can do all the works. If there is no friction, we can't do any work. So we can't imagine the world without friction. As there is a friction, there is a world. Next, we have the normal force. So what is normal force? Let us take a table. On this table, a book is present on this. A book is present on this table. So, why the book is not falling down? Because it has been supported by the table. We know generally this. This one is the general thing that this book is supported by the table, so it is not falling down. Imagine that there is no table. Suddenly, by the magic, I have done some magic and there is no table. Where the book will be? It will fall down. Why it has fallen down? Why? Because the support given by the table to the book, then only there is a withstand of this book on the table. If there is no table, by the magic, if it has gone, it will fall down. So you can know that if there is no table, the friction, the force is applied by the head on the book, then it will fall down. If there is a support, then only it will stop. If there is no hand like this, then it will fall down on the ground. So that type of force is called as supportive force. That force is called as normal force. So it will be perpendicular to the direction. It will be perpendicular to the direction of the force. So in this case, the book which you have taken, its weight will be applied in the downward direction. Its weight will be applied in the downward direction. And the support will be in the upward direction. The support will be in the upward direction. If these two forces, the supportive force or the supportive force by the table on the book and the weight, it is also a type of force, the weight of the book on the table. If these two are equal, then only the support can happen. It can withstand. Or if the weight is more than the force, supportive force, the book will go into the bench. It will break the bench, it will break the table and it will stand on the surface or the ground. So as there is a support, so it is withstanding. This book is withstanding. So these two should be equal. This weight of the book and the force of this table on the book in the perpendicularly in the opposite direction of the weight. These two are equal, then only this book will withstand here. So this type of force is called as normal force. Next we have the tension force. So to a ceiling, let's think that we have to a ceiling. So this is ceiling. This thread is tied to the ceiling. Other end of the ceiling is tied to the ball. Right? So this ball has some weight. So it will be applied towards the ground, towards downward direction, perpendicularly towards the downward direction, right? So why it is not reaching the ground? Why? Because it has been supported. It has been supported by the thread to the ceiling. Suddenly, if you break this one, where it will go? It will reach to the ground, right? So this has been supported here. So it is supported force is normal force, but the tension is what here? The tension will be created in a string. String. Here it is a thread. The tension is created. Tension when it will break. It's a type of tension, right? So when this thread will break, so this tension force will be in upward direction. So tension force T. So for an object, the tension force will be in upward direction and the weight will be in downward direction. So the tension created in a string, that when it will try to break, when it is going to break, so that type of tension force and that type of supportive force is called as tension force. Okay, everyone are clear with this?